All right, so day 4, we're almost finished with the 5-day challenge. The whole goal of the challenge really is just to create very practical things that you can do inside of kvCORE that are going to help you increase production. So we've talked about making sure that you're adding at least 10 people a day. There's lots of different creative ways that you can do that. Seeing who's unengaged, sharing property so that way you have more activity on your website. So that way you have more reasons to call the people who are in your database. So this one is how I kind of do circle marketing. For the longest time, we were a part of, we did what's called Celebrity Agent. It's a postcard system where they like send out, just sold, active listings, all that kind of stuff to the people in the neighborhood that we farmed. And it's expensive. Those little postcards are not cheap. And so what we found was that it was easier and more cost effective to do it through kvCORE because kvCORE could do it for me. So any type of circle marketing, what you're sending out is what's going on in the market right now, right? So like, what's the price per square foot? How many houses are for sale in your area? How many houses sold in the last 30 days? To get all that data and then also to hire a marketing person isn't in every agent's budget. And you really don't need it. Like if you're paying for that, just go ahead and like give me that money and I'll do it for you in a better way. The other thing is people want to see what's active listed. So I'm going to talk about how to add property alerts and market reports to people that may not be buyers right now, but it's a way to do your circle marketing. So let me go ahead and jump into kvCORE. So sometimes my brain kind of goes wonky on me. But I feel like yesterday I talked about like that business analytics, and that's how you can go to find those unengaged leads and who you're actually working with. So if I click here, that's where I'm always going to start. Okay. When I'm going to do some circle marketing, the next thing that I want to do is I want to see the kvCORE activity. And I want to see people who do not have market reports set up. Now you'll notice pretty much all of mine do not have market reports set up. And the reason why is because my platform, it's all real estate agents. I don't need to send them the market reports. They already know. So let me log out of my kvCORE and log into my husband's because his is going to look different. And then I can show you what these items actually look like. There he is. In order to send out property alerts or market reports, you have to have the client's email, which a lot of our sphere of influence, we don't have their email, we have their phone number. So get creative on how to get their email. I've heard people say that they create a Google form and then they just drop that link in a text message to their friend that says, hey, I'm working on making sure that I have all information. Or say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go digital this year with all of my holiday cards. Can you send me your email so that way I can add it to my database? Anything like that. Now, obviously, yes, now send your digital Christmas card on email so that way it's not just like a bait and switch. But those are just different creative ways that you can get it. Also, if you have people who are your followers on Instagram, when you go to their profile, there's a contact button. A lot of times people have an email in there. If you're a real estate agent and you are on Instagram and you do not have that contact button on there, you need to do that stat. And if you don't know how to do it, go to Google and search, how do I add the contact button on my Instagram? And I'm sure there's some like 17-year-old that's able to like show you really quickly because I'm pretty sure my daughter did mine. So business analytics and then kvCORE activity. So let me check out his pipeline first. So he has 3,700 clients that are currently in his database. And it says 2,800 of them do not have a market report. Okay. So I am going to click this little blue button and it's going to take me to a filtered list of all of these people that do not have a market report. When I go in here, I can also filter this list. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do once it pops up is I'm going to click filter applied. And then I'm going to go to contact details. And I'm going to say has an email and is subscribed to emails. Okay. So that way I'm not creating this and calling these people that aren't on there. Since I'm calling them, I also need to make sure that they have a phone number. So now I'm going to go down and I'm going to apply the filter, and now it's going to make my database of those people smaller. Oh, well, it says there's no one. That's not right.
That's pretty small.
I know, right? Like, hello, super small. Let me apply it again. What is going on with his? Oh, maybe they all have it. So maybe the people that don't have it, I don't have emails for. Okay, let me go back. Let me see that they just have a phone number.
Crazy thought, and don't mean to overcomplicate things, but
No.
if you're a KCM subscriber, could you cut and paste that and send that out as a market report / general real estate information to send that through this, or would you want to just send it through KCM?
What is KCM?
Keeping Current Matters.
Oh.
It's actually pretty handy. They've got a new system where they actually have local stuff. Before it was like kind of a snapshot of nationally what was going on, and I'd read the articles and kind of dumb it down to my market specific. But
Okay.
yeah,
You may be able to link it. I'm not for sure.
okay.
If you have, like, if what you get from them is like, if there's a URL link, you can obviously put that in a click button and then send it that way. If you are able to kind of like screen shot the image that's sent, like if it's like an image, then you could always,
like a snipping tool from snipping tool or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, if you have that, then you can add that also into an email where it'll have that image embedded into the email. So those would be two things. So this one, I see that this is one of his Google contacts. So I'm going to go down here. Right here, they are a buyer. I do have their email. I do have their phone number. So when I check on Kyle, there has been one outbound call this month. Came across your listing on a townhouse, so I'm interested in the property. All right. Now, how do I set up their market report? First thing I need to know is, where do they live? Okay, so I found out down here just by looking to see what's going on that they're looking in Dobson Ranch. So I'm going to click this ad. And I can click Dobson Ranch, and it should come up for that neighborhood. Okay. All right, so now see how it says areas? I don't do areas. I actually do the actual neighborhood. So I'm going to do Dobson Ranch, the condominiums. Then I'm going to type in here Dobson Ranch again. Whoops. Because there were some other items that show up on here. So this is the medical dental center. I'm assuming they are not looking to buy a dental office. Now, the neighborhood, see how it shows like the different units? You can add all of these. So I could add this one. You can add whichever one you want, okay? Sometimes it doesn't have an entire neighborhood. It just has like multiple parcels. So just keep in mind, you may have to play around with this. If that's the case, find out what zip code is Dobson Ranch, and then you can put in the zip code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up for every 28 days. And let me take this one out and do this one. And then I'm going to add. That's it. Simple as that. What it's going to do is it will email him a copy of a market report, and I'll show you what it's going to look like that it's going to send to them every 28 days, letting them know what is going on in the system. Now, this was Kyle, right? So instead of clicking back and now going back to all of my database, I'm going to click next. I see my next person is Jennifer. I do not have an email. I have a phone number. So the first thing I have to do when I call her is get her email. I don't see any type of notes about anything that she's necessarily looking for. So when I call her to get her email, I'm going to offer her a market report. I'm going to ask her what area she lives in. A lot of people don't like to say what neighborhood they live in, especially if this is like a cold call. Like, why do I want to tell a complete stranger what neighborhood I live in? So just ask them, could you tell me, one of the things that I can send you out is a market report. Would you like that for your city that you live in? Or would you like it for the zip code that's close by to your house? And then that's a little bit easier. So again, I just go through and I change in those market reports. Okay. So I just go through each and every one of these. Now, let me show you what the market report looks like, because inside of kvCORE, there is a market report squeeze page. That is a good tool to use if you are leaving door hangers or anything that talks about like, hey, I'm doing an open house in the neighborhood. It's a way to, one, get leads, and then two, to be able to give them some type of value, but it's not something that you want to send out to people. This one looks better. All right. So this is the market report and what it looks like. And it goes out every 28 days. You never have to go back in and reset it. It's basically like set it and be done. So it's going to have your broker information. It's going to talk about their home. It's going to give them information about their value and their equity, the maintenance tips, and then the market trends that they can see. So the first thing it's going to pull up is what is generalized for them. So these people in this saved filter are people who live in our neighborhood. Okay. I talked to Title, our title company, Chicago Title. They have a platform called Chicago Farm. And inside of Chicago Farm, they're able to not only get the homeowner's information, which is what I can get off Monsoon, but they can also give me emails and phone numbers. So once I get it, I put it into my database. So this is what will go out. It'll say hi, and then it has their name. Here's how the market is trending. It shows the map of where their neighborhood is. What's the average list price? How many price reductions? This is all in the last 30 days. How many active listings, and is that more or less? New listings, and is that more or less? It's going to show how many homes were sold in the last 2 days and what the average sale price. So right there is a talking point. Almost 90,000. Okay. So one, are people listing their house too much? Or, and maybe that's why we had a price reduction, or has the value of homes gone up that much in the last month? So those are questions that they're going to ask. It's going to tell them average price per square foot. And then it gives them this graph right here. So I'm not sure if that's similar to what you were talking about just a second ago. So it's going to tell them how many listings and if that's on the up or down, and then the price, and then also the number of listings. So we had a big dip June 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to show them what are the highest sold. Now this kind of bothers me only because it's the highest sold. I don't know how they're viewing the highest sold, because this was nearly 7 months ago. Is that really accurate? But they can see kind of the pictures of the home. They can see these are the two that were recently sold in the price. So yes, this one was only sold for $357,000, but it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with only like 1,200 square feet. So of course it's going to sell less than this one that is, you know, a little bit more square feet with additional bedrooms. Everything is branded for me. If they click this right here, they're going to be able to ask me questions. If they click this value and equity button, they can go ahead and search homes. But then here's the picture of their home. This is how many square foot they have. Their lot size, they have a 6,000 square foot lot. That's pretty small. This is the amount of their mortgage. And this is what is an estimated, right? Just like a computer generated, like a Z estimate of their house. So they have like 180 grand in equity on their home right now. That would be someone that I would target to call and talk to, especially if they're opening it. It does give maintenance tips for them. So it can tell them like, hey, it's the summer. These are the things that you should do. Hey, it's fall. These are the things that you should be doing in the fall. So it changes this up. It also allows for referrals. So let's say that obviously I'm a real estate agent, right? So there's lots of different tradespeople and service people that I know. Maybe they need a moving company. So they're like, hey, can you send me a referral for a moving company? Or can you help me with people I need storage options, or I need packing, or I need a cleaner, or I need a contractor. And so what it does is it really fosters in those other business relationships that we have being in the industry. Let me grab. Let's see. It talks about their maintenance costs for their house. So all of this stuff's on there. And then market trends is going to show them their house and what city it's in. So this neighborhood is in Santan Valley. So the average list price for the whole city is 483. We've seen 93 price reductions, which is extremely an increase. We have 518 active listings, which is down, and 187 new listings, which is up. So we are seeing that more sellers or more homeowners are deciding to sell in this city, but our active listings is still low. So we still don't have enough for what we need. Then it's going to pull up other markets that you follow. So it goes ahead and it compares it. So for the city, average is 483 and we're 460. So a little bit below what the average is. Now, how do once I send this out, then what's my next thing? When you go to your dashboard, there is a drop-down menu that says all activity, which is great, but it kind of gets on my nerves because like there's so many things. Like I need this to be organized. So if I click email events, it's going to show me every email that was sent out that was opened. It's also going to tell me if they clicked any of the links inside of it. So let's say that like you're sending your buyer homes, they could open the email, but maybe they didn't click on any of the pictures to view a property. So if I see that people are opening the emails of property alerts, but they're not clicking on them, and I know they're active buyers or what I thought were active buyers, then I need to call and say, hey, you know what? I know I've been sending you a lot of property alerts. They're sent like, and I can go and see like how quickly they're being sent out. Is that too much for you? I just wanted to check, is the frequency okay? Are you still thinking about purchasing? Has something happened or whatever? It's a way to just kind of know what's going on. Like we had one that they were opening it, but they weren't clicking it. And it turned out that they didn't want to buy a resale. They wanted to buy a new build. And we almost lost them as a client because they didn't realize you have to bring us with you. So yeah, I'm like, oh no, you got to take us with us. So like this guy right here, he opened this link on this property and he clicked on the property. That's the reason why I saw him on property views. This was a property alert. Tom, he clicked it. Randy opened this, but he didn't click on the property. Connor opened this one. Jenny opened this one, but she didn't click on anything. So if I know that Jenny is looking at homes, I need to be able to call her. But let me see the ones for the property views. I think they went out on like, oh, these are, gosh, this is just like 20 hours ago. Hang on.
So real quick, you went to dashboard, then you scrolled down, and then there was another thing you could click on with activity, and you went to email events.
Okay, email events. Yep. So now I can see everything that people open. What I use this for is to know when I need to have conversations with people. So for my neighbors, obviously, okay, so this one, Brandon opened this one from, this is our old neighborhood. So this is Sungroves. He opened it. He didn't click anything. So I might want to call Brandon and just say, and I can view it. Here's the email. Okay. 650's average sales price, 62 days on the market's average, 210 per square footage. He did not click this button. So all he's looking at is this. So when I call him, I'm going to say, hey, you know, I know that you're getting market reports from me. I'm not going to say, hey, I know you opened my email. That's weird. Okay. It's like Big Brother-ish. But I could say, do you have any questions about the market? And then just open up that line of communication. If I see that the same people are looking at the market report every single time that I send it out, because see, look, he didn't see this one. All he saw was just the main one. So I may even encourage him, hey, I know that I'm sending out a market report. And when you get that email, it's going to say the average price per square foot, how many sold, days on market, blah, 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 blah. There's a click button at the bottom. When you click that button, it's going to give you more detailed information about your neighborhood. I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss out on it. So it's just ways to be able to give them information. So this one specifically for the Sungroves neighborhood, it's showing the average price has gone up. I don't know when in the world there was a house in April that sold for 210. That's crazy. But then it shows the listings. It shows the highest sold, which also happens to be the most recent sold. If I look at his value and his equity, I have to verify his address. It's going to pull that information and show me what is his possible equity that he has in his home.
So how did you get, so on the dashboard, so I sent a market report, and when I went to view, it said it could not open at this time. How would I go about looking at the leads market report that I have sent out? Sorry, I missed writing down those buttons that you clicked on.
No worries at all. So one of the things is like when you set it up, I'm going to let this sit there and think for a second because it's thinking. So when I send it out, like let me go to Brandon's index card. So right here it says sent the market report. Until it says that it sent it, I can't really view that that market report until it gets sent, because it's automated every 30 days and it's gathering all that information. So like if I set him up on a market report right now, it's going to say something different. Let me grab a different client so that way I can actually, let me set myself up. Let me add myself to my husband's database. Well, there we go. All right, so I'm going to add myself. All right, so there I am. I'm going to add a market report for 85249, that zip code. I'm going to send this out every 28 days. Well, maybe. There it is. Okay, so even though it says view report, it may not pull it up. Oh, no, it did. Okay, so Renee, you're saying that you set it and then you tried to view it and it said that it was still waiting?
It just said market not found. And so then I just did, because it's my parents. I
Yeah,
just started off with them.
they have no
But
market.
it's saying market not found. So I called him to see if he saw the same thing. And he said, well, it just said the exact same thing it said in the email. When I pulled it up, it had the home evaluation and everything. And so I was trying to pull it up on my end, and it's just saying, yeah, market not found. And then I clicked on for market trends, market not found, but value and equity, it shows like what their value is worth. It says track updates and trends, all starting with your home market. So the average list price is 698,000. There's the active listings went down, price reductions went up, and new listings went up.
Are you able to share your screen? So that way I can see exactly what you're seeing. I'm sorry, I'm
Sure.
a visual learner.
You're fine.
I just want to make sure I totally
Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
So it says, see here, it says market not found.
Oh, those would be the other markets. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So that one's not okay. So click to go back to your kvCORE platform. And then click on the view report.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. My computer does the same thing. Oh my gosh, she's still not funny. Okay. All right. Okay. Go back to platform and pick up their client profile. All right. So neighborhood.
North Park, should I put the zip code instead?
Maybe try the zip code. So click that little add button. Because is it's a neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's a neighborhood. It's North Park. It's
Oh,
there's
okay.
no listings.
Okay, hang on. Oh, now, but they would, that may be why, because there's nothing available for it to pull.
So try the 80031 and see if that's the thing. Let's see.
So
Sorry.
in the no, you're fine. So in the neighborhood where it showed the market report, it said like North Park, and then it said add, and then it said Colorado. Is the neighborhood called North Park, or is it called North Park add?
It's called North Park.
It may be because of, so I think it may have pulled over the wrong neighborhood, and that could be the issue too. Okay, so the zip code's showing up. Okay, go back to kvCORE platform. And then click the pencil button where it has, yep, right there. And then, okay, so do this. Go ahead and delete that one. And then let's add one and type in North Park, and let me see if it'll show up different where it doesn't have that ad on there. It's not condos, right?
No.
So I've seen some agents that have issues with like the neighborhoods coming over. Sometimes that's an MLS issue.
Okay.
It could be that, because I know like there's neighborhoods out here, like sometimes if I put in Sun Groves, which is our old neighborhood, it'll only show up all the different parcels. It doesn't give me the whole neighborhood as a whole. And then sometimes when I do it, it does. See if you can do it where North Park's one word. Maybe that'll.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, he was on the road. I said, you should know that. They went on social media.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's
All
weird.
right. Yeah. But some of them will do that. And I've seen that in like, it's been multiple people, but it's not like, it doesn't always stay that way though. So it's got to be something within the MLS because it pulls it directly from the MLS. But yeah. All right.
Okay. I'll do the zip. Thank you.
You're welcome. So basically creating these market reports is it's just one ingredient to the circle marketing. The other thing is creating property alerts. So Renee, if you can stop sharing, and then I'll go ahead and I'll go back in here real quick.
Yeah. Is he in? What? He's not here.
All right.
He's not in. Sorry.
That's okay.
All right. So when I go back into my kvCORE, normally when we set up property alerts, it's for people that we know who are looking to buy things, right? So why in the world would we want to create an alert for someone who is not looking to buy? Okay. This is why. People like to see what's for sale nearby. Okay. How many times have you done an open house and all the people who come to attend are all the nosy neighbors, right? So why not go ahead and give them the information that they want, so that way they don't have to come and drink all of your water and eat all your cookies. So I'm going to draw on the map their specific geographic boundaries for their neighborhood. So for me, I'm going to go way east. Okay, so I'm going to, all right, so now I'm going to draw the area. And I'm going to grab. Pecan Creek. Okay, if that's the neighborhood, I'm going to apply the selection. I'm not going to make this go out once weekly. Okay, because these are not people that I want to piss off. They're my neighbors, and I don't want them to be like, all she does is send me stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do it once a month. And then down here, I'm going to click just listed. So what it's going to do is it's only going to send them one email a month, And it's only if there is a brand new listing in their neighborhood that's available. That way they can compare it to their house, right? If it's the same model, a different model, when you make the alert, if you hit set the alert, it's just going to go ahead and set it up. If you hit save and send, that means it's going to save that alert and go ahead and send out the first email. And today will be day 1. And then the next one won't go out until day 31. So when it sends it, I can see that there are currently 6 houses that are available in their neighborhood that are for sale. So if this is my model, I'm like, oh, let me see what they did. That's pretty. Does anybody else see like a face right here? Because I totally see a face. Those look like eyes. It looks like the what was that? There was some cartoon movie about like the mean house or the bad house or something like that. I don't know. It's scary. But like
Well,
these
it was
two,
the cars that had the faces.
oh, okay. But like these 2 models right here, those are not the same models. This one, I don't like when people do that. Why do you give me a picture of a blank backyard? What are you hiding? But it's going to show them all the houses that are in their neighborhood. They can check out the images. Okay. So when I know that these are people in my neighborhood, I'm not going to call them and say, hey, do you want to list your house? I'm going to say, hey, I noticed, or I know I'm sending you out properties that are just listed in our neighborhood. Who do you know that would be a good addition to our neighborhood? Or who do you know that's looking in this area? If you have not read the book, Exactly What to Say, that was like a game changer. It gave me a lot of different ideas on how to reword what I was already saying. Like, hey, you know, I'd love to help your friends buy and sell a house. Doesn't really usually get me a lot of names and phone numbers. But when I say, who do you know? Well, you know what? I think my hairdresser is looking for a house. Oh, okay. Would this be an area that she would want to live in? Actually, yeah, the place is, the salon's right down the road. Okay. Well, you know what? You have my phone number. This is my personal phone number. You can either share my number with her, or you could start a group text with the 3 of us, and I'll give her all the information that she needs to be able to buy a house. Okay. So, gosh, how far do I have to go to see what the front of the house looks like? Oh, there it is. But why wouldn't they put that on there? That's a nice house. Okay. So those are different ways that I have seen. There's one thing that I do want to show you though. If let's say it says that there are 12 houses, it's only going to show you the first 6. To see all of them, you're going to view all. So let's say that this is my neighbor that I'm good friends with, and I know that they have that model that's this house right here. I want to let them know, hey, I wanted to let you know, there's a house down the street that's exactly your model. Now, the only difference is they don't have a pool in the backyard and you do, and their house is listed at 515. Oh,
Nice.
so what do you think we could get for our house? Well, I mean, I'd have to pull up some comps, but I can let you know, but I know it's going to be more than 515. Oh my gosh, Jackie, we bought the house in 2008 when it was going into foreclosure. We only paid $100,000 for it. Okay, well, do you love your house, or would you love to get a new house? And so it's just creating those opportunities to have those conversations with people. All right, guys, I'm sorry that I went a little bit over. I try to always be very, I can't say that word, but the word that starts with a C, of people's time. But any other questions?
No, this was so helpful. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, guys, I hope you all have a great day. If you need help with your kvCORE, I'm your girl. I can help you out. If you have not customized your website to be able to add those categories that are specific to you to make drop downs for buyers, sellers, whatever, then let me know. I've just started doing that. So I will see you all tomorrow, same time. Have a great day.
Jackie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jackie.
Bye, guys.